right, folks, how we doing out there? Welcome to Ready, Set, Live. I am Doc Severson, and I have with me Mav. Welcome aboard. This is today's Ready, Set, Live for Wednesday, the 3rd of March. Welcome aboard, everybody. Let us know where you're coming in from today.
Hello, hello. How we doing? Hey, guys. We will definitely talk about Cardano. Don't worry.
All right. Welcome, Zach.
Hamburg, Germany. Ooh.
We have Rich from California, the OC. Welcome aboard. Hey, Darren, where in the UK are you from? Matthew from Germany, and we got New York.
Some good representation today. Wow. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the appreciation.
Serbia,
yeah, we should have a good show today,
Mayor.
guys.
Hey, Raj.
Crazy week over the last since we last spoke, but never slows down in crypto, huh?
Oh, we got North Korea checking in. Welcome aboard.
All right.
Dallas, Texas, UAE. We have Switzerland here. And we have Raj from India. Welcome aboard, Raj.
All right. Already a fiery, spicy chat today. Love it.
Oh, we got Jay from Atlanta. How do you? Right down the road, man. Ernie from
man.
Boston, the Wingnuts. All right. Austria. I saw a great interview the other day with Christoph Waltz talking about the difference between Austria and Germany. So, yeah, we'll see if we can get a fight going here. Berlin, Germany. Robert from Sweden. Welcome aboard, everybody. Welcome, guys. We do this every week. We do what we call Ready, Set, Live. And this is where we just kind of reach out with you guys and talk about what's on our mind. We talk through your questions. We usually have a couple of things that we want to, share with you guys in terms of what we do and what we see every day in the crypto space. So, if we skip your comment, it's by accident. We got so many coming in here. So appreciate you guys, everybody checking in today. So Mav, what do you got? What's on your mind? What do you be talking about today?
Yeah, so I think one of the big trends we're seeing right now is it looks like crypto markets are maybe springing back. I think there was a little bit of panic, but now we're seeing things kind of rise again. And I think there's some good reasons for that. Just today, Glassnode put out some research saying that there's only about 4 million or so BTC in circulating supply. And I definitely trust our friends over at Glassnode. So that tells me that there's going to be pretty soon here, not enough supply to go around. And that's going to push up BTC even higher. But second to that, I think what we're seeing is sort of exactly what we saw back in December timeframe of 2017, where Bitcoin sort of led this big charge, right? It was all about BTC. And then for pretty much the majority of December 2017 and into January, it was all about the altcoin market. It was all about the ICOs. It was all about, Bitcoin was old news at that point. It was all about what can we, what sort of crypto moonshots can we get in? What's going to be the next Ethereum? What's going to be the next Monero, et cetera. So we're kind of starting to see something similar to that right now. And I think that's pretty interesting. Not to say Ethereum is dead or anything like that. So quickly or so often I see this sort of mindset in the crypto space. Guys, it's not winner take all. It's definitely, especially when you talk about smart contract platforms and layer 2 solutions and kind of where we're going right now, there's going to be room for Ethereum and Cardano and Polkadot and Stellar and all these other great projects that are building sort of decentralized networks. That's not to say that none of these projects are winners, or that there's going to be ones that do better than others. It's a market. It's a free marketplace. We're definitely going to see some awesome moves in the future. The people that are saying that this video is clickbait or whatever are jumping down my throat about throwing Cardano on the bus. Cardano has a lot of room to grow, but so do all the other projects, and that's kind of my point. So yeah, just today we saw that Ethereum is working with AWS. That's pretty cool. Bitcoin's back over 50,000. So now let's talk about some projects that might be good Ethereum hedges. So obviously Cardano is one example of that. Obviously Polkadot is another example of that. Other projects we've talked about in the past, such as Neo or Stellar, some of these other sort of projects, they definitely come up. But what I really want to talk about is some of the ones that are kind of outside the mainstream that you might not have heard about before. So today we'll go over Ethereum hedges, kind of just broadly. We'll talk about NFTs, and we'll talk about some DeFi projects that some gems you might not have seen before. Because as far as I'm concerned, what defines 2021 in terms of value, where you're going to find that for the crypto space, it's all about where can we build the sort of financial value bridges and on-ramps. So here's the spreadsheet that we'll be quickly going over today. This will take up about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll jump into some trade talk with Doc, and then we'll take some questions, but we're probably going to cap it off at the 30-minute mark today. We'll just keep it nice and short. And if you're watching this in the future, I will be putting market minute, topic minute, whatever those are called. So you can just skip ahead and see where we're talking at certain points. But anyways, for those who are in the present here, this spreadsheet, you can follow along with me. It is free for you to dig into. Just look in the bio below for a link to it, because I'd love to just give you this resource. It took me a little bit to put this together, but here are some of my picks, broadly speaking, for some projects that I think are good Ethereum and Cardano and Polkadot alternatives. Not saying that they're going to overtake them or anything like that, but these are the sort of projects that if those projects are doing well, I think by proxy, these are just going to continue to do well. As they're similar. This is something I talk about often. You want to buy sectors. You don't want to just go all in on one type of project. Same thing to that. Something that's really hot in the space right now is NFTs. So I've got a couple NFT platforms we can check out. I think they're really cool. Definitely you should have your eyes on them. And lastly, we'll talk about some microcap DeFi moonshots for those who are looking for that kind of content. So a nice blend of stuff that's in the top 100, stuff that's couple top 100 or like 300s, 400s, and then the stuff that is like tiny, definitely gambling. So anyways, let's zoom in here and just quickly start going over some of these guys. So the one I am very excited to the more I look into it, the more excited I get, is Avalanche under the ticker AVAX. It is currently ranked number 45. By the way, this column here just kind of ranks their current market cap for today. So just so you're aware, I know I haven't explained this before, but yeah. So what's cool about Avalanche is that it's a clone of Ethereum, and it's looking to do stuff like NFTs, but it's kind of taking that scalability, Ethereum 2.0 vision, and building upon that. So that's kind of the advantage that a lot of these Ethereum hedges have, is that they don't have to be held back by all the development hell that Ethereum has to go through in order to convert from a proof of work blockchain solution to a proof of stake system, Ethereum 2.0. So, that's where Cardano, Polkadot, and some of these other projects have a great advantage, is that they just don't have to convert like that, or they have sort of a head start. So anyways, yeah, Avalanche is one you should definitely be watching. I think it's one that is very cool. And by the way, before I go on, I want to make very clear that this is not financial advice. And furthermore, I have none of these projects. So I have no vested stake or interest in how these projects do, because all I care about is, are they cool projects? Are they doing cool things? I have no consideration for price in this discussion. Is price, somewhat relevant? Yeah, sure. I think these could be very interesting price moving projects, but that's not why we're here today, at least primarily. I think these are doing interesting things that you need to be aware of, and price is sort of secondary to that. But if price is your primary vehicle of operation, well, you're still welcome here too. I just want to make sure that you understand that I'm not telling you to go out and buy these. I'm just saying that these are probably worth some consideration. Look into what they're doing. I think it's interesting. I think they're doing some novel stuff. All right, cool. Anyways, moving along.
Hey, just real quick, for those
yeah.
that can't figure out where the spreadsheet is, there's if you look below in the description of this video, there's a little icon with a emoji with a finger on it. It says get access to the list of hot projects, and the link right there. So you can go to that page and follow along with what Mav is talking about today.
Cool. All right. So yeah, guys, for those asking questions right now or shouting on some projects, we will definitely have some time to talk about that in a little bit here, especially if I pick up the pace. So I'm going to do that right now. Celsius is another one that I think you should definitely be paying attention to. Celsius and BlockFi, these are sort of these lending protocols that are, if you're just sitting on a stack of Bitcoin or some of these other big projects and you're not doing anything with it, you're just waiting for it to go up. Well, you could be adding an additional, I think in Celsius's case, it could be like 13% APR or something like that for some of these crypto assets. Or even if you're just in stable coins, waiting for the price to pull back so you can get to a buy point that you're more comfortable with. Same deal. You could be adding additional interest onto that for really little work. It's really awesome, and they make it really easy. So Celsius is definitely one you should just be watching for nothing else other than the fact that they're building these sort of financial tools of the future. I think they're really awesome. I met the guys in person. They're a great team, very ambitious, very savvy in what they're doing. Great project to support. So moving on to some of the more NFT type projects, and I'll zoom out here just so you can see this column here. All these next 5 are going to be non-fungible token or NFT projects. And if you've been around the blockchain space for a little bit, you might have heard this one. It's Engine or Engine Coin. They were sort of built around an app, sort of gaming background. But yeah, a lot of these NFT projects are trying to focus on some sort of niche, focus on some way that tokenization around digital assets makes sense. Either that being, having a game sort of format, like, I don't know, is Axie or maybe it's Axie Infinity. I don't know how to pronounce that. But it's almost like a Pokemon sort of game where you collect stuff and you battle. That's kind of cool. That's one way to kind of, get people familiar with digital assets in the form of NFTs. Or you could have things like Flow or Rarible, which are kind of more focused on sort of big picture NFT vision. Guys, this is all about just having tokenized digital ownership of something that is scarce. If we talk about a collectible or a piece of art or song or whatever, that's what NFTs are all about. And if you don't understand the hype around them right now, why they're blowing up, goes right into some of the things I talk about frequently on this channel, in that tokenization, digital assets, digital ownership, NFTs, as far as I'm concerned, are sort of the Trojan horse to that, right? They're sort of the gateway drug of getting people familiar with what tokenization is all about, having digital ownership of a digital asset or some sort of scarce, can't be copied sort of thing. And when we start talking about that and we start thinking about, well, okay, we could, have tokenized stocks, we could have tokenized real estate, we could have tokenized equity. This is what I was talking about when I was talking about security tokens a long time ago. This is not that much of a logical leap from where NFTs are today. So in the same way that DeFi is trying to do decentralized finance and lending and all these really cool things, NFTs and tokenization are all about digital ownership, especially when it's related to something scarce, maybe something physical down the road, and just introducing all the efficiencies that come with it. So it's really exciting. It's definitely maybe a little bit too hot right now. I think it does need to cool down just a little bit, but NFTs are definitely here to stay. What started with crypto kitties and all that, well, this is just kind of the spiritual successor. When we look at stuff like Rarible and Terra Virtual Collect, and some of the other NFT platforms and projects that we're talking about today, that's just, there's a lot of promise and potential to this. So expect to hear more about NFTs, just in general as we go forward. Another one I'm seeing you guys talk about a lot is Unistech, which is definitely kind of on the hype train right now. Again, this is why I'm not talking about price today, because this one has blown up. And another one, Opacity, same deal. These guys kind of just blew up. I'm not trying to buy the bottom on this, especially when we're talking about coins that are in, the 600s of market cap range. Those things are going to be so volatile that there's no such thing as, oh, I missed that one. Oh, that train took off without me. No, there's a lot of upside potential. I think Opacity only has a market cap of like 13 million, something like that. So tiny project. But when we're talking about stuff like Unistech, which is again really hot right now, a lot of people are talking about it. What's cool is that they've got they're making a big announcement this week. They're kind of hyping it up, so good for them, good marketing. And they are also going to be ready to fully launch pretty soon here as well. So that's kind of why you're seeing the hype train take off regarding Unistech. But yeah, there's a lot to like about this one. I think it's doing some cool stuff. Another one that's doing some more DeFi related stuff is Falcon. I think that's just a cool project. It's one of these DeFi gems that's worth checking out because it's kind of bringing more of the privacy aspect to DeFi. So lots to check out there. Definitely. Again, if you haven't gotten this spreadsheet pulled up, the link is in the bio below. Look for the finger pointing to the link. It's free. It's part of our ReadySet.Vision platform. That's where I post these. So you can come on, sign up for a free account. Let's talk some crypto projects that might be cool. Let's talk about on-chain analysis. Lots of really good stuff. But yeah, if you were to dig into the full spreadsheet here, you'll see that I've got the link to the actual project as well as the CoinGecko markets link. So if you have a question about, hey, where do I buy Unistech? Where do I what's the best place to buy some of these projects? Well, just go to this link here on CoinGecko, and it will list out by volume what are the top exchanges for that particular coin. So if anyone's asking that question, hopefully I answered it. Okay, let's move along here and kind of just finish this up and then move into trade talk. Yeah, so I was talking about Opacity. I think this is another one that's just kind of flying on the radar a little bit, but is also starting to get some well-deserved hype. Yeah, it's just it's one of these other projects that I think is definitely worth looking into. Is gonna just continue to drive a lot of traction, and yeah, DeFi stuff. All right, so DeFi Yield Protocol and Unicrypt are another two of these DeFi gems that I think are definitely worth checking out. Yeah, guys. All right, I'm gonna take a break for here because I don't want to just talk about a bunch of projects. I do want to kind of let's talk about the overall market and what's going on here. And what do these opportunities represent? Is this a good time to be looking at the crypto market, or should we be waiting for maybe another pullback or something like that? What's going to happen from the charts perspective, Doc?
Well, all right. Give me a second here. I'm going to bring up my magic pen and get this going here.
For the question about our Telegram chat, we don't do that anymore. We had way too many people impersonating us, so we shut that down. We do have a Discord. It's in the bio below. Free to join. Come hang out with us. It's a pretty high quality place. We don't allow any funny business there, and it's not about chilling. It's more about project discussion and blockchain. So yeah, come hang out with us.
Okay, one of the things that we started doing a few weeks ago was doing the One Bitcoin Club, because after we started breaking out of the 3.5-year bear market, then what we found was a lot of people were still sitting on the sideline and saying, well, wait a minute, wait for me. How do I get on this thing? And so this has been one of my focuses lately, or my focal points, is to help people identify places to get on board and just keep things really simple. So I'm just going to drag a chart over to here. We're going to just bring up a session of TradingView. Nav, nobody can see you right now, so.
Bummer.
All right. So looking at Bitcoin versus the US dollar, let's look at a couple of things here. First of all, as we look at the latest correction that we had, which was back here in what's that? January. Feels like a year ago, doesn't it? Right. That went 13,165 points, or 31.3%. And that happened in 20 days. So 31% in 20 days. So far, what we have is a move that's gone for about 26%. I'm writing like a child here. Give me give me a break. And that's only happened in 10 days. So 20 days versus 10 days at this point, right? So what I'm looking for is always a sense of symmetry. So I'm looking for symmetry in terms of how long it takes something to break. I'm looking for symmetry in terms of how far back it typically pulls. This is what we call average swing length. And then we have also been talking about things like when we do have an impulse wave like this, how far back does it typically fall back to? This is where we go into the 38.2, the 50%, and the 61.8% fib retracements. We also talked about potentially the swing test. So what I talked to you guys about last week was saying, I want to be aggressive in selling puts in this area. And so this weekend, as my February puts expired, I replaced those on Sunday with some new March puts at the 45,000 level and sent that trade out to our members. And actually that one is already profitable. Now, the other trade that I'm sitting there waiting on is down here at 42,000. I think there's a good shot that we have one more final plunge to somewhere around 42,000. If I can nail that, that would be tremendous. But this is going to be based on what I call the 5-hour chart in this case. The 5-hour chart is going to have to, right now we're seeing a swing up here. It's going to have to get over 52,000. Otherwise, we're going to see this thing pull back down to somewhere in this area. And I believe there's going to be a massive amount of confluence if it actually does that. I think we'll see a very quick V bottom from that point if we do pull down into the lower 4,000s. All right, so those are a couple of ideas that you can do. If you need me to, I can explain the process of selling a cash secured put option. So in other words, basically you get paid to take the pullback, and it is one of the most successful strategies out there and works very, very nicely in a bull market like this. Okay, so that's my segment for right now, Mav. And we'll take any questions unless you've got additional coinage to go over.
Oh, yeah, for those just tuning in or those that missed the message, the link to the spreadsheet, some of the projects that I would consider being, worthy of looking into, potentially some that might soak up some of this, Cardano hype. I don't know, I'm kidding. But definitely ones that you should be paying attention to. Link is in the bio below. Yeah, it's definitely going to be, I think we're moving into a breakout period where opportunity is, it's a target rich environment. So very exciting times. Just got to pay attention to some of the trends that are going on right now. And yeah, let's talk about some of your questions. We'll probably cut it off in about 5 or 6 minutes here. But yeah, want to keep it nice and short, nice and simple on your Wednesday afternoon. Thanks for joining us, or whatever time it is in your neck of the woods.
Neck of the woods, neck of the way. Well, I did get a request to go over the cash secured put, so I'm going to do that very briefly here. Okay. I'm going to pull that. So Mav, you are disappeared once again. Okay, so this is a company called LedgerX. This is an options broker, which is available to U.S. customers. Now, if you're not a U.S. customer, you have to be using Deribit, which is slightly different. You can do essentially the same thing. But what I like about Deribit is, LedgerX in this case, this is a conversion machine from dollars to BTC. This is a conversion machine. Just think of it that way. You're converting dollars into Bitcoin. Now, certainly you could do this in Coinbase or any other fiat broker, right? Well, this one's a little bit different because what I'm going to do is I'm going to fund an account with dollars and I'm going to turn that into Bitcoin through using cash secured puts. So what I can do in this case, you can see I've got a -1 over here. I've got a position which basically says that at 45,000, if the price gets to 45,000 or below by the 26th of March, that I commit to buying one contract or $450 worth of Bitcoin at 45,000 per contract. So it's a contract that you're setting up for this and you get paid for it. So to give you an idea, these were going for roughly, when I sold this the other day on Sunday, these were going for about $5,000 per contract. And right now they're going for $3,000 because of the rally that's already happened to the upside. So that's just a paper profit. I have not locked that in yet, but this is an option contract. Basically, it's being paid for the pullback. So typically what I'll do is in a bull market like this, when I see the price pulling back, I will identify a level that I would be a willing buyer at. And right now that level, or at least it was on Sunday, was at 45,000. I've got a limit order down at 42,000, good till cancel, looking for that to come down. But right now at 45,000, I'd be a willing buyer. So I get paid. As soon as I set up the trade, cash goes into my account. I get to keep that income right off the bat. And it also creates a lower cost basis for me. So this is, if you want to learn something like this, these are options, and these have been around for a long time, and they're just now hitting the crypto space right now. And this is an extremely high probability trade. It's a very simple, very powerful trade that allows you to be able to, again, like I said, turn cash into BTC like this by selling cash secured puts. Now, if I do get assigned on these, then I can either transfer them over to my wallet or wherever that is, or I can actually turn around and sell calls on them to create more income as well too, but that will cap my gains. All kinds of things that we can do for this. If you want, I can do a whole session on one of these some afternoon and teach you guys on how to trade options in the space the proper way. All right. So let me know if you have any questions on that. Otherwise, there we go.
And Doc, what was that site you were just looking at? Some people had a question about that.
That was LedgerX. LedgerX. So think of ledger like as in crypto blockchain ledger, then stick an X on the end of it, ledgerx.com.
Yeah. I suspect we'll see options coming to the crypto space suddenly very fast and probably as easy to execute as, for those who have done options on Robinhood, about as simple as that. And for a market that trades 24/7, I think they'll be very interesting to see how that plays out. It'll be probably rough at first, but
yeah, some quick answers here on the session I just did. What about selling options? Tao Zenki, that the example I just gave was selling options to open. So to close them, you buy them back or just let them expire. If you're not a US citizen, your option will be to go with Deribit, deribit.com. So that is the biggest crypto options broker out there right now. There are going to be alternatives coming up right now between Deribit, LedgerX. Those are probably the two best options. I understand FTX. I understand a whole bunch of people are going to be coming along. We already have options on some of the big CME futures, which I think are horrible. I would never trade those because you can't trade them over the weekend. And sooner or later, these clowns at the CME are going to wake up and say, whoops, this space is different than the US equity markets. So right now I would stick to LedgerX and Deribit, depending on where you live.
There's a question about how you guys get involved with us and some of the education that we've put out over the last 3 years. Great question. There's a link in the bio below. We're having a nice little introduction, special coupon for those interested in getting access to all of our classes at once. We sort of this all you can eat Netflix style membership called Omnia, which also gives you premium access to some of the the daily newsletter we put out, and we have a private Discord for our Omnia members. We just do a whole bunch for our Omnia guys because they've got our back and let us do this full time, which we really appreciate. If anyone's an Omnia member, I really appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with us today. But otherwise, yeah, if you're interested in learning about, for example, how to trade crypto, how to trade options on crypto to kind of get in front of this trend that Doc is talking about, we've previously put out courses on that. We're going to be looking to update those courses pretty soon here. And yeah, we've just got, I think we're up to like 15 different courses on crypto fundamentals and technical analysis. And we recently put out, really the industry first course on on-chain analysis. So, just lots of different educational content out there, depending on how you want to look at the markets, be participatory in them. But yeah, the opportunities out there, and we'd love to help you take your crypto game to the next level in 2021. Otherwise, yeah, let's finish up with a couple of questions here. You guys have been great today. This has been an awesome stream. Really appreciate that. Yeah.
Picking it, somebody's got some experience out there. Tao's got some experience selling options at 5 Delta. That is your classic, way out of the money, high probability trade. And the way I describe that is you're picking up nickels in front of a steamroller. So you can pick up those nickels in front of the steamroller. You're going to be quick enough to do that, but eventually you're going to get you're going to catch your toe under that steamroller and you're going to get run over. So all those nickels that you pick up. So typically what I'll do is I'll pick up something, a significant credit, which gives me a lot of protection. It gives me a much better cost basis for that. But this is something I've learned over time. I think most retail traders, when they start trading options, they want to, it's almost like in the Army shooting artillery. You're 10 miles behind the front lines, right? You're in relative safety. It's like, hey, this is great. We just sit back here in the rear echelon and we just fire shells at 10 miles away at the enemy. And we're never in any danger. And until the day that you get flanked and all of a sudden you have no support unit around you, right? If you understand that analogy, that's the case. So it's better to be on the front lines. It's better to be in there slugging it out with the price and getting these enormous credits right at the money.
Okay, guys. So I'll just finish off. I know there's some comments about Cardano, so I'm going to make sure I address this. I'm not saying Cardano is going to die or anything like that. In fact, I think it's just getting started. Between it and Polkadot and Ethereum, I think there's a lot to like about that space. I think it's come a long way. Cardano is not even really fully out yet, so I think there's a lot to like about where Cardano is approaching this problem, and Ethereum is approaching this problem, and Polkadot's approaching this problem, Chainlink, and all these other guys that are pushing the envelope forward for the crypto space. DeFi is obviously very hot. We talked about NFTs today. We talked about some of the other sort of projects you should be looking at. Again, the links are in the bio below, but as always, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I think we're just getting started this year. I think this is going to be a fun summer for us to be in the crypto space. And yeah, we could be seeing, $100 Polkadot and, Cardano. I forget even the price. It's going to be crazy. So I think this is the opportune time for those who are willing to look for opportunity. And yeah, that's what we do here.
Hey, Mav, why don't you show everybody how to get into that free community that you're talking about?
Yeah. So if you go in the link below, that article, the spreadsheet is part of our ReadySet.vision, brand new service. It's free to join. Would love to see you there. So come hang out with us, talk crypto, talk about some upcoming projects and on-chain analysis. Really just be at the cutting edge of the blockchain crypto space here, kind of outsmart the market by your opportunities that we're getting into early. And again, the Discord link for our free Discord is down in the bio below. And if you'd like to join our premium service, Special on Omnia is there as well. I would love to join you or have you join any one of these awesome communities that we've built. We like to look at this whole industry and say, where can we find opportunity? And how can we beat the market? So that's what we're here to do. And as always, appreciate your time and appreciate you hanging out with us here on this Wednesday afternoon.
You know,
I
pretty
hope
soon
you're
we're
doing
going to be
well.
saying that we're going to be the longest running crypto service out there. And that's not going to be a stretch
Nope,
because
no
we've been doing
hyperbole
this
here.
now for how long? Over 3 years.
We have, yeah,
We had
in it to
showing
win
up
it.
every day for 3 years and doing this. So we're not going to go anywhere.
Yep, yep. So, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Hope you're doing well. I'll see you in the next one. But until then, take care out there. Cheers, guys.
See you guys. Bye now.